Great. Hello, everyone. And we are starting our next session, and this is the startup competition. We know that being a startup is not easy. Competing with major companies have more investment and support. So that's why for most of our events now, we are having this part. Which is to support companies who are just starting developing their products. And today we will talk about, of course, circular economy solutions, recycling technologies, digital solutions. We have three startups competing today: is Recircular, Simrico, and Acrolab Technology. And the distinguished judges panel who are Christopher El Khoury, Circular Economy Analyst from Intesa San Paulo Innovation Center, Jeroen Kelder, Partner on Infinity Recycling, Dries van Geluwe from Port of Antwerp, he's Business Development Advisor, and Alexandra Noren, the Head of Production Partners Management in Neste. Before we start, I just wanted our judges to introduce themselves, maybe mention how they work with startups, and then we will give the word to our startups. They will have 5 minutes presentation each, and after that, question and answers, where our judges will be able to ask questions as well as our audience. Then we will break for 10 minutes so the judges can discuss who is the winner, and as well, there will be poll for our audience who can as well decide who is, in their opinion, is the winner. So yeah, before we start, if I can ask first, Jeroen, if you can say a couple of words about yourself.
Of course, Jeroen Kelder, I'm managing partner of Infinity Recycling. We're a specialized investment fund, really focused on the advanced recycling space. And I'm very excited to be here today to listen to these three courageous entrepreneurs. You know, innovation is the lifeblood of our economy, the lifeblood of our chemical industry. And as former CEO of Disney, Bob Iger once said, the riskiest thing we can do is effectively maintain the status quo. So it's all around challenging our current linear thinking, challenging the current preconceived ideas that the industry has, and really start to kind of drive this industry forward. That's, as I said, essential for the economy, but clearly also essential for the environment. So pleased to be here and looking forward to the presentations.
Great, thanks. Alexandra?
Yes, hello. My name is Alejandra Noren. I'm the Head of Production Partners Management at Neste. You might have heard we work very closely to various partners, exactly with the reason and the objective of reaching all the players across in order to accelerate the adoption of the technology and the adoption of and the use at the customer level of that. And within the partnerships, we include not only players existing in the value chain, but also new players that can bring technology. So we cannot do this on our own. We need partners, we need access to technologies that are still not fully answering all the questions. So yeah, very happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks, Alessandra. And Dries, can you tell about a couple of words about yourself?
Yeah, Dries van Geluwe, Business Development Advisor at the Port of Antwerp. As you might know, Port of Antwerp is one of the largest petrochemical clusters in the world, #1 in Europe, and we are in full transition mode, also towards the circular economy and a CO2 neutral environment. And in that case, we are developing several areas, investment areas in our port area, where we put the focus 100% on this circular economy. So in that perspective, we are in contact with a lot of startups, scale-ups, together with our industry companies inside the port area, to have new ideas, to create space, to evolve that technology. So in that perspective, very interesting of what I'm about to hear of the three startups.
Great. And Christopher?
Yes, thank you, Avnika. So I'm Christopher El-Khoury. I'm circular economy analyst at the Intesa Sanpaolo Group, which is the largest bank in Italy. The circular economy is fundamental for Intesa Sanpaolo Group since many years ago. Actually, we're financial partners of the Ellen MacArthur Foundation on this, and we believe that financial institutions can and should play a huge role into the transition to a more circular economy in businesses. So we see ourselves as enablers, and it's our role to follow this. That's why actually Intesa Sanpaolo, since many years, is trying its best to invest and finance circular economy projects. But we know and we believe that innovation is not just about financing and investment, but is actually about open innovation and making the startup ecosystem and the real innovative ecosystem, this is the ecosystem that think out of the box, communicate and enter in contact with large corporate and businesses in order to bring this glimpse of innovation into the large corporates and transform their business models. That's why the Intesa Sanpaolo Innovation Circular Economy Lab, where actually I work, try to follow worldwide the innovative startups in order to enter in contact with them and try to create a field of opportunities to let them communicate and make open innovation projects with large corporate and companies. And we do this on a transsectorial level, and obviously the chemical industry and recycling, the chemical recycling is fundamental into a transsectorial field, and I'm very happy and curious to hear from the startups. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your introductions. I can see definitely we have the right people to judge our 3 startups today. And for those who just joined us, I can see the numbers are growing, so people are transferring from one session to another. So what is going to happen now is that we will listen to the 3 presentation pitches from 3 startups, and then the judges will go for a short discussion to decide who is the winner. And in between during that time, you, the audience, can vote as well for the startup you liked most. And of course, you can ask questions in the chat directed to our startups. And if they won't be able to answer right now, they will definitely follow up after the session. So let's move on to the pitches. So the first one is Ines de Archo, the head of communications from Recircular. Ines, the floor is yours.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, here we go. So I'm very pleased to be here today. As she said, I'm representing Recircular today. So I'm going to start with the simple question. What do you all see here today? Well, it's pretty obvious, don't you think? Well, where you're seeing waste, we're seeing opportunities. We're seeing opportunities and business. So the industrial waste that is generated in Europe every year is at a value of about a bit more than 3 billion euros. And we don't deal with it properly. This means that we lose its material value, but also businesses are wasting and are paying huge amounts of money to have this waste landfilled or burned. This is due to the complexity of the waste and the waste management system itself. And also, according to the companies themselves, it's actually a lack of information of what to do with the waste and who could actually reuse this waste. So here's where we come in. We want to give an answer to these needs by connecting businesses with waste with other businesses that can use this waste as raw materials, substituting therefore the use of virgin raw materials. Our digital platform helps us automatize the process and the scale, and we can give this to we can do it to any waste level or any business. So it doesn't matter if it's a big or a small business, we can give this service out. So the companies themselves are the actual users of the platform. So they put in all the information that we need for the algorithm to give them information about how to reuse and recycle their waste. And at the same time, the platform sends an automatic notice to any potential consumers. This way, it's basically like a dating app. So two companies match, and they can finalize a transaction within the platform itself. This way we have the traceability and actually the transparency of what is happening with the waste at all times. And we do this once a transaction is finalized, we charge a success fee, so a percentage of that transaction itself. And we also work with subscription models with a monthly and yearly fixed fee. We go one step further though. We want to recollect this information, and we want to use this information to give businesses the, calculate the impact they have with the waste they are creating. So we use our own methodology, so the impact measurement system, and we can calculate the carbon emissions, the water footprint, the energy demand, and the improvement of life expectancy. So we generate economic savings on both the waste management side and the raw material acquisition side. And at the same time, we are also we are creating environmental and social benefits that we measure with the indicators set beforehand. The companies can use these indicators for circular economy strategies, for environmental and social objectives for their own company, CSR policies, so anything that can be useful for them. All of this, we're also contributing to Sustainable Development Goals, obviously. So in the 3.5 years, we have worked with 5,000 tons of waste and generating €500,000 of savings and reduction of 15,000 tons of carbon emissions. We have achieved this without any external investment. We have counted purely on collaborating with small social foundations and up to multinational companies, so anything in that range. And we can count on some public and private organizations. Our goal in the next 3 years is to scale saving 50,000 tons of waste while collaborating and creating 500 indirect jobs and a reduction of 150,000 CO2 emissions. All of this is possible because we have an amazing, passionate team that we all specialize in our own sector, and we're actually adding complementary profiles depending on the needs and the demands of the sector. We count also on an amazing board of advisors in legal, financial, and industrial symbiosis aspects. So now more than ever, we know the importance of giving value to local available resources. So we are contributing to digital transformation of small businesses and, of course, of a not very transparent waste management sector, especially here in Spain. We do this bringing down-to-earth circular economy strategies, making them measurable and tangible actions, and also creating new job and new business opportunities out of what today is considered waste. So, are you all ready to join our waste revolution? Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Ana. So interesting presentation, and let's now give the word to the next startup, Akshay Patel. If Ines, you can stop sharing your screen. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Now, Akshay, the floor is yours. Just a second.
Yeah, this should work now.
Yeah, if you just can make it. Yeah, perfect.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Akshay Patel from Simreka. And today, what we'll do is we'll talk about experiments, which are really at the heart of business success. You might know it took Edison like 10,000 experiments to launch a cost-effective light bulb that actually works, right? And today, we need to create circular products that need to meet demands for quality, cost, safety, and sustainability simultaneously, all at the same time. For example, like recycled plastics. All right. to do that, actually, we need to create a whole lot more experiments to test which products, processes, and value chains will enable us to actually meet these demands, right? And especially since, like, when we are dealing with recycled systems, actually, we no longer have like the luxury of having like a large stream of quality controlled raw material streams, but then it's quite varied, and we still need to deliver consistent quality products. Right? Now, the problem is the existing way in which we do these experiments means that each experiment takes a really long time, actually, and that translates into a very low success rate because many experiments also just fail. So what we have done is basically in Symreka, we have developed an experimentation system that allows R&D and manufacturing teams to now carry out exponentially more experiments within the same budget, and so that they can boost success rates to bring better products to market faster than ever before. Let's understand how this worked for a customer of ours. In the case of this customer, this is a large company as well. And for them, they wanted to develop sustainable products, right? The challenge is there's just a whole lot of possibilities out there. To then find these opportunities, benchmark them against each other, and prioritize ones that are actually truly sustainable and feasible. That was the challenge here. Now, they adopted the Symreka experimentation system. With that, they have been able to significantly speed up the timeline for each and every experiment that they do. And so that they have been able to pick out opportunities that they have been able to take forward in their time to market process. And more importantly, in this process, they have been able to avoid costly mistakes actually in their search process. So they have been able to avoid risks which they would face when they launch the products, with risks like unsustainable products or products that don't meet compliance needs as well. So that's the benefit that our system provides to them. Now, let's understand how does this actually work, right? This is in fact delivered by using our Symreka AI-driven simulation and data solution. First, what we do is we bring together unparalleled amounts of data on products, processes, also recycling processes, and value chains from a variety of different public as well as proprietary silos, essentially. Right? From here, our customers can take this data and carry out, using our simulation systems, benchmark a wide variety of options, considering a 360-degree view on quality, cost, compliance, and sustainability, so that they can take conclusive decisions with an understanding of the why behind that decision, actually. Right? Today, our customers have been able to use this for decision making to create better products, to select the right value chain partners from an investment as well as collaboration perspective, and to also speed up decision making for themselves as well as their value chain partners as well from a sales perspective. Okay. Now, based on our wide experience of working with a large number of customers, we have made it really easy for you to get started with our simulation system. There's a fixed 1 to 3 month timeline pilot project, which delivers you concrete decision-making results and a pathway for scalable value delivery, because it's you need to be able to scale this effort to then deal with a large number of products, manufacturing process areas. So then this sets us up for the next phase in terms of using this in a scalable manner. Right? With this, what we are looking to do is let's get connected and let's experiment together, so that we can allow you, and this can enable you to bring better products, better sustainable products to market faster than ever before. Thank you.
Thank you, Akshay. So that was presentation of Symreka, and now we have the last contest for today. The company is Acrolab Technology. So Anna Bespalova, if you can share your screen and tell us all about your startup and your technology.
Thank you. Okay, give me a second.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
great. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm glad to represent Ecolab Technology UK, and today we're going to talk about plastic waste, and not well, all plastic waste, but specific material. Its name is polymethyl methacrylate. We can use it almost everywhere, and the demand for this product is growing year by year, but unfortunately there are some significant problems which we deal with during the production of this material. The primary production of 1 kilogram of polymethyl methacrylate releases 6 kilograms of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And another serious problem is that this material is hard to recycle. Nowadays, all businesses, recycling businesses, face a significant challenge of getting rid of additives and dyes in this material. And let's have a closer look at the life cycle of polymethyl methacrylate. As you can see, this slide clearly shows that waste occurs at every stage of polymethyl methacrylate life cycle, and well, during the last stage, this number increases dramatically thanks to the big amount of old products which need to be replaced, and there's a lot of pruning during the production. The existing methods of recycling this material are out of date. Unfortunately, mostly this is the extrusion method of waste disposal, and it depends very much on the fact that it cannot deal with additives and dyes. And this is the problem we faced also, and here is our solution. As you can see, well, you can have a closer look at our technology. Here is the reactor. The method is based on the technology of closed pyrolysis, depolymerization of polymethyl methacrylate to the state of initial methyl methacrylate. This is a pure monomer which can be used to produce new products of high quality. The most important advantage of our technology is that it is completely isolated from the environment, and we've managed to avoid any toxic emissions and greenhouse emissions released into the atmosphere. So it is very eco-friendly. The method does not depend on additives and dyes, so we can recycle any type and any condition of this material which we get. And we are glad to say that the process is almost automated. We just need a few operators for the entire line, so it's very comfortable to install at any factory or for any business. Just to sum up, waste becomes a source of raw material for the industry, and our innovative technology allows us to return up to 80% of waste back into the production. And this is not just production, it is production of high quality products, because nowadays only low quality products can be produced from this material due to the fact that out-of-date methods cannot cope with additives and dyes existing in the waste. And also, I would like to highlight that it is highly profitable. If we compare, for example, recycling of metal and polymethyl methacrylate, our technology is 3 times more profitable, which I think is amazing achievement for the entire world. And by the way, 20% which we have, well, after, if we talk about the last 20%, we can also use them as a material to produce some byproducts like paving slabs or speed bumps. Also, it is important to mention that the technology is energy efficient. We are proud of our team, which consists of entrepreneurial team with proven track record. We've got vast experience in implementing this technology, and we already have revenue. We're a revenue generating company, and we've got a team of amazing scientists who are very inspired, and we are sure that we will be able to make significant impact in the market because our technology is really unique and focused on a special material, and we've managed to achieve the solution for a serious problem.
Great, thank you very much, Anna. So all of 3 of our startups now presented. If you can stop sharing your screen. And now I would ask our judges if you have any questions. This is the time to ask now before you have to take the decision. So feel free to probably let's start one by one. The first one was presenting was Ines, Recircular startup. So what questions do you have to?
If I may kick
Sure.
off, first question I have, Ines, a very good presentation. Really like the idea. I think
Thank you.
you know, the circular economy requires, you know, collaborative leadership, and I think that, you know, what you do is a real good example of this, to really, you know, connect the different stakeholders, you know, drive joint ownership of the problem of waste, and therewith also, you know, drive that to a solution. The question I had was around, how do you make sure that the kind of parties that you bring together are, you know, once they've successfully connected through your app, are not, you know, doing this outside your app, you know, going forward? Obviously, working through your app comes at a cost, and once they know each other, this is ultimately still quite a physical transaction. Nothing, you know, stands in the way for them doing business together without, you know, your intervention, and therewith, you know, saving the cost of using you. How do you prevent that?
Well, we obviously know that that is a problem, but we hope that with the extra, like the value we add by giving them the information of what they can do with their waste, and obviously it's something we're struggling with, so we're always trying to avoid that. But for now, we're just trying to contact. We're very young business, so obviously we're trying to make our way in the sector, and I don't have a specific answer because it's not really my area of expertise within the company. But we hope that with the platform, the impact measurement method that we have, it sort of adds value, and we have a really good customer service, so everything is very personalized. We always contact with them directly, either the founder of the business or myself, and so I don't know, I think everything makes them want to continue with us.
Okay, added value, that's what it is. Yeah. Any more questions to Ines?
I have one question. I think Ines, and it's a little bit on the line of Jeroen. So my question is, you're talking about that you provide life cycle assessment type of figures, and is that something that you provide as a type of certificate, as a type of a validated number that finally the individual parties will be able to use, and therefore keep them linked to you? How does it work?
Yeah, so basically everything that the users upload and all the information that we use and process, so everything is given back to them in form of a certificate, and it obviously has our name on it, and it also gives the certificate sort of says that where we got this information. It sort of gives you a review of everything that has been processed, and then they can use it for whatever they need for the business, basically. I don't know if I answered the question.
Okay.
I've had actually also one final question, very shortly. Just also looking at the types of waste, is it going very broad, or are there specific types you're looking into, like plastics or steel, metal, etc.? And the second thing, in your platform, it is indeed a very scattered landscape. So I definitely see the matchmaking, and I think it could be an added value. But how do you see the role of the waste handlers that you already have today? So the big corporates that already collect the waste, do they have a role on your platform? Are they one of the industry that can be linked? Simple question.
Okay, so so the first question, I'm sorry, the second question. Well, as I said, I'm sort of in charge of the communication, so I wouldn't really need to ask my colleagues, which are more in the engineering department. So I'm not quite sure what the figures are and how the companies are in our platform. But sorry, the first question was?
The first question was the types of waste, actually.
The types of waste. Okay, so that's another thing that we try to add value with, because we're sort of adapting to any demand there is. So we like to call ourselves sector agnostic, because we adapt to any business that really needs this type of service. It doesn't matter what waste they have. So so we're not specifying. And actually, one of our main competitors are the ones that they all have platforms that are specific sector, and we're trying to differentiate, make it different, by being open to any type of waste.
Okay, thank you, Ines.
Yeah, I have one last. Sorry, I have one last question.
Sure.
Actually, my colleagues already made a lot of questions that were in my mind, but I wanted to ask specifically about the type of waste. In my work, I used to see other competitors doing very similar work, and I just wanted to know, in your work, do you kind of bring also some kind of advice in order to know how to use these waste, taking maybe in consideration also the end of waste directives? And so do you grant this kind of advisory services also to how to use the waste? And because I believe, in my experience, this was a point that was missing maybe with other competitors.
Yes.
Wanted to know.
Absolutely, that's one of our main values. So basically giving them the information, the first step before all the matchmaking and all the where to put your waste or anything, it's how you can actually use this waste. So or how can you recycle it? So we also have specific projects. For example, right now we're working with credit cards, and we're trying to figure out how we can recycle the credit cards with the material it's made from. So it's kind of a difficult process. So we're dedicating time to tell them, okay, this is how you can recycle it, this is how you can reuse it, all the information they need, not just sell it off and that's the end. So the first thing is inform everybody about what they can do with that.
Ines, thank you. Let's just leave a little bit more time for other startups to ask questions to them. Thank you for all your questions. And there are more questions from our audience. We will return to them when our judges will leave for the discussion. So the next presenter was Akshay Patel. So do you have any questions to him about the solution he's presented?
I guess
okay.
Just to start off, if you don't mind,
Sure.
I was wondering, Akshay, if you can explain us a little bit your revenue model. Now, how do you expect to make money, and
Exactly.
what kind of contracts are you considering with your clients?
So the revenue model is twofold. One is basically revenue on an annual licensing basis for the software system, actually. And then next to it, there is like a variable component, which is on the on-demand data needs that our customers have, essentially. And then we typically budget for a year in terms of the overall data needs that they have in a year as well. And then there's another component, which is basically we provide a lower starting point for customers. These are like decision support reports in specific like product or material areas where customers want to take a decision. And this gives them a starting point where our team uses the software solution internally and generates these decision support reports. And then we sell them these reports. and then over a transaction of 2-3 reports, then we go towards software implementation, basically.
Okay. Alessandro, I've seen you had a question.
Yeah, and you have mentioned that you have lots of data behind the technology and the software. How do you handle new processes, new products, new novelty?
Indeed. So when it comes to like new products and like especially new also new materials and new processes, actually, we do generate essentially like data for them using our simulation systems essentially, and of course it's like we have like a step-by-step approach towards increasing the quality of the data for new processes. We start out with a base quality level based on our simulations, and then improve it with cooperation with the supply chain partners or customers directly with experimentation that is carried out internally as well. So it's a step-by-step process towards for starting out with simulations, getting a base set of data on new processes and also new products, and then taking it further into improving the quality over time as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Shall we move to Anna? There is one more question.
I have one last. Yes,
sure.
I have one last question. So I wanted to ask you. So excuse me if I didn't understand so good, but like your software, is it the business model is like software as a service, so the company can use it just for a time and they pay it through the time? Because I didn't understand so good when you were explaining the business model, and I wanted to understand if back of it, like the algorithm, and because I believe it can fit into also the preventive analysis software as well in the production line. I wanted to know if you have some kind of intellectual property about the algorithm, or it's not the case. Thank you.
No, exactly. So in terms of like just like the business model perspective, it's like it goes into the SaaS area, like the software as a service area, but it is more the enterprise license that we provide. And we do this because we also deal with a lot of data security considerations which our customers have, because our software deals with their core R&D and manufacturing data actually. And so that's the reason the licenses are provided accordingly actually. And when it comes to your question about essentially like applying it in different areas, so we have applied it actually in process optimization area as well, and also it can be, I mean, in theory it can be applied in the preventive area as well. We do have IP on the algorithms behind it, which actually set us apart considering competing algorithms that are out there which deal with manufacturing processes. So our algorithms do provide a benefit in terms of optimizing manufacturing processes, especially complex ones, which have like multiple different units connected to each other, because it's a multi-scale simulation system actually. So then it can be applied in other areas, but just from a team capacity perspective, we have certain areas that we have selected, especially when it comes to like circular products, also like product development and process improvement areas. And we focus on applying the technology today only in those areas. And we could potentially look at expanding that in the future.
Okay, and
Perfect.
now thank you, Akshay. So any questions to Anna?
Yes, I have two small questions. One is thanks for investigating PMMA. It's indeed a very tough waste material to recycle. So it's good that there are technologies looking into this. The purity of the PMMA that you need to require at the start, does it need to be, let's say, almost 100% pure before it starts in the process? And second one is, do you see yourselves as a technology provider, so selling your technology in the end then to the larger chemical companies, or do you really see yourself growing in being a recycler yourself in the end and doing the full process of collecting and handling the waste?
I see. Thank you. Good questions. Well, speaking about the first one, do you mean the purity of the final monomer, right?
From the PMMA that gets in the process.
Well, we don't depend on the purity, absolutely. So it doesn't mean if whether there are any additives or coloring, comparing to extrusion methods. This is the unique point about our method, that it completely doesn't depend on the purity.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But and if other types of plastics, because for plexiglass, for example, it's also sometimes a mix between different kinds of plastic.
This is why we decided to focus on one specific type of plastic, and to research. And this is the result that we have achieved after working hard.
Okay.
Yeah, and regarding the second question, nowadays we are ready to sell this solution. I mean, by saying solution, I mean the system itself, the reactor, software, and some guidelines, because we already have existing business of outdoor advertisement, which has this system integrated inside. And we also have a business model of working with companies who need just the material, the pure monomer, methacrylate.
Okay, guys, we kind of run out of time now. So what I would advise now our judges, if you can now go for the discussion, and I understand you need to discuss, but try to be quick. And so if you can leave now and go to the breakout room, and we will start with startups here. So I hope to see Christopher, Dries, Alessandra, and Jeroen soon. So yes, okay, Christopher and Alexandra, yeah, good. And let's see what questions. First of all, I want to ask our audience to vote now. And according to you, what do you think? Who is the best startup of the today competition? So we'll have two opinions: one from the audience and one from our judges. But while we're waiting for our judges to decide, let's look at the questions which we have from the audience. So Ines, there is one question to you. What is the current status of the platform? So
yeah, so the current status is actually last year we launched the beta version, which means that it is fully functional, but we are still manually choosing the users that can and can't use the platform, because obviously we still need to filter some, and since we have this personalized contact with them, we need to sort of filter all of that manually, but it is fully functional right now.
okay, and what is the main advantage of your platform over competition? What is your business model? Is it per transaction or per subscription?
Well, as I said in the presentation, our business model is when the transaction is done, and if it's been well done between the two businesses, we take a percentage of it. And also we have a subscription model, which I think it isn't available yet, but it will be very soon, where you have access to information and to services on a monthly and a yearly fee. And the main difference with competitors is the value we add is what I explained beforehand about giving all the information of what to do with the waste, and who can reuse it and how to reuse it. Before any transaction is done, you can have that information and choose what to do with that waste itself. And also, since we don't specify in any specific business or sector, it gives us a huge range of possibilities.
Okay, let me just ask our audience to not forget to vote as well. And there is a question here to Anna. Do you acquire pre-sorted PMMA waste, or do you sort, like the people who will use your technology have to sort out it themselves?
No, basically we need pre-sorted material. Originally, the companies which, for example, have some productions, they have lots of pruning after the production, which can be storaged. And here is the idea that we can make a circle, so we can depolymerizate this waste right at the place of production. And well, if there's additional material coming to some recycling facility, so it should be sorted beforehand.
Okay, thanks. Actually, can you tell a bit more about your company, who work there, how many people, like what is the structure?
So in general, from a company perspective, it's like, so we have people from different backgrounds. They include also chemical engineers and chemists as well, and also people from software development background who have experience with also data science and also mathematics domains as well. And next to it, we have people working on the sales and business development part essentially. And today it's like also 17 strong team as well then essentially. And then we are located at multiple locations at the moment. We have an office in Utrecht, Netherlands, also in Düsseldorf, Germany, and also we do software. Our software development team is in Bangalore, India as well. Yeah.
Okay. So let me see if we have more questions here for you. Okay. So to Anna, I don't understand the question, so hopefully you will understand. Does your chemically recycled PMA show identical YI index compared to virgin PMMA?
Could you please announce one more time the index?
Yeah, the index is YI.
I see. Well, as a development manager of the company, this is actually not my area of expertise, but maybe later on, if it's necessary, we'll provide important and this data regarding this information, because unfortunately I can't answer right away.
Okay, so hopefully just in this case look at the questions after this session and if you can come back to the person who asked it, that would be great. So the question was from I'll tell you now, LG Chem company for a customer acquisition manager, so JU. Okay, so we are waiting now for our judges. Hopefully they will come soon and tell us what they think about the who is the winner. I think they're arguing there. Can't take the the decision. Thinking like can't agree.
Maybe they're enjoying.
Yeah, just having the discussion. It's just we're having the next session, so we need to move on. So hopefully they will come soon. And what I would say is just remind you that the winner will receive the exhibition status for the next offline conference we will have. We still need to announce the dates, either at the end of 2020, beginning of 21. Obviously, you understand it's about
the situation.
It's about the situation, yeah. But of course, everyone while online is working, and it's okay. We can speak to each other, but everybody is missing to meet in person as well. So that is why. We will let you know later, but the idea is that you will receive the status, promoting on the website, digital marketing before the event, and of course participation and exhibition during the conference itself, the third one. Just a second. Okay, while we're waiting, maybe you can tell us what is your dream? What is your long-term, like the ideal scenario for development of your business, like the biggest dream for you? A lot of money, a lot of clients?
Well, for us personally, the most inspiring thing is that we can create production which can be eco-friendly, which can simultaneously use the waste without, delivering to some waste facility centers, to make it like a short-term period, producing products, and if there's waste, it is recycled simultaneously, and we finally get the result. We can use it once again. This way, we're sure we will avoid lots of waste, and this idea is really inspiring for our team.
Okay. Akshay, what is your big dream?
For me, actually, what matters is that we get as many users as possible in the global manufacturing industry, and users being also scientists, engineers, and decision makers who can use our tool on a day-to-day basis to make changes in their products, to create more sustainable products in a variety of different material and manufacturing areas, actually. So that's basically our goal, to like expand our tool usage significantly, actually. Yeah.
Okay, and Ines, what is the big dream for your company?
Well, for us, it's very similar to Akshay's. It's actually gain a lot of users, a lot of trust with companies, and obviously to reduce the reduce waste, obviously.
Yeah.
And also, we really want to make it clear, especially here in Spain, what circular economy means, what it means for the future, and basically introduce it into the system, which is quite a traditional sector, the waste management one, and they're still not innovating. And so we try to give that plus side. So users, reduce waste.
Okay, great. I was told that the judges will join us any time right now, so let's wait for them. Let me ask what the results of the vote. Changes. Sorry. Let me see if there are more, what is in the chat, if there are more questions for you. Since okay. Okay, I was looking for more questions here. There's actually quite a few. They can't join. Just a second. Where we are. Yes, they can. Hello, Jerome. So I can see our judges are back. Hopefully we will hear and see them right now. Yeah, welcome back. I guess you had a heated discussion there. So who would be the person who will announce us the results of your decision?
So
We've agreed, Alejandra.
Yes, hello, it's going to be me.
Okay, Alessandro.
Yeah, sorry about that. So, yeah, so again, as you always say, and it is the case, it's been a few discussions because we all see the three opportunities quite thrilling. We see that all of them bring absolutely solutions to the different problems, to different pain points that we have today in circularity. We also see they are at the different stages and maturities. So that was as well a bit of a difficult to discuss. And they are quite complementary. But we also thought that there is an opportunity to add more, particularly transparency to the value chain. And this is what we thought it could be a good idea to provide, just to add not only transparency, but also that data, you know, and this is where we decided to vote for the circular. And we think that this is a good opportunity to, control, difficult to control the players and the contacts and the matchmaking, but bringing the opportunity to provide some value, create value through some level of transparency certification across the value chain, because these are very different type of people to connect. So
okay, great. Congratulations to Recircular. So we will see them at the next event as our exhibitors. And of course, thank you to all our contestants today. However, I just need to tell you the voting of the audience. And by the audience, they voted for, they gave actually the first place to Anna Bespalova on Acrolab technology. So our attendees liked Acrolab technology most. So, but once again, thank you very much for your presentations and all your participation. So we will announce it on the website about all the free startups in our social media to create more buzz and awareness about your technologies, and all good luck with your efforts and looking for investors and partners.